I was surprised.
Hello and welcome back to Real Horror Show. I'm your host Samantha, joined as always by the stormy skies.
Hello, listeners.
And so far my microphone is working.
Yay.
Uh,
if you stop, I'll like message you right away. So I'll get like your messenger open now.
yeah, I have my Facebook open,
Okay,
and
get
I
it
guess
open now
I'll
just in case.
show the chat as well
Yeah.
since we're in Zoom. As
Oh
always, everything's fine over here.
yeah. Good.
And everything's fine with you other than the rain.
Other than the rain, everything is fine with me. And we are on a Zoom call right now, which is how we communicate and do our podcast. And it's just us two here in the room, and that's fine. But you know what's not fine?
If someone were to infiltrate this Zoom call right now,
Yeah, that would not be fine.
actually, I think that would be great. That would make for a wonderful episode.
It would be.
But
I'd be like, hey, you can't leave.
but that's very similar to the plot of Unfriended from 2014, which is the movie we're reviewing today.
Yes.
Unfriended is a 2014 screen life supernatural horror movie directed by Levan Gabriades and produced by Timur Bekmambuz. She's what are names? The first feature film to be entirely set on a computer screen.
Oh.
It is produced in the so-called screen life format. The film stars Shally Henning, Moses Storm, Renee Olstead, Will Peltz, Jacob Wysocki, and Courtney Halverson as 6 high school students in a Skype conversation, which is haunted by a student played by Heather Soseman, who was bullied by them and committed suicide. The film is told almost entirely through a screencast of a MacBook.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that was a very chaotic MacBook.
it was a lot like my old MacBook back when I actually used a laptop.
Yeah.
Just everything open all at one time.
Just a bunch of like stuff on your desktop. I'm like, what are
Mm-hmm.
you doing with the dictionary on your desktop? Get that out of there. Did you
Um,
notice that?
I didn't, but
It was like
looking at the character of Blair throughout this movie, it makes sense that she needs a dictionary on her desktop.
Yeah, and she in the upper right hand corner, did you see all like the random pictures just
Yeah.
like over top? I'm like, what are you doing? Put them in a
Yeah.
folder.
I think it fits her character because Blair is the fucking worst.
Oh, I know. And you know what? I didn't know it was gonna be like that, but then it was like the worst one is
Mm-hmm.
like her. Spoiler
Yeah.
alert, the worst one's the last one.
So yeah, I remember watching this movie. I think I watched it twice in grad school because
Oh, sweet.
it's not like the greatest horror movie. It is an early Blumhouse production,
Yeah.
but I think it's a fun horror movie and a true teen scream.
Yeah, it's good.
And I didn't realize it actually was the first. I knew it was an early variation of this type of movie that's recorded through a MacBook or through a screen life type thing.
Yeah.
There have been a couple that I know of for sure. There's Host, which was super popular in the early days of the pandemic, which was a Zoom meeting,
Right.
paranormal Zoom meeting, and then the John Cho movie Missing and its standalone sequel Searching that came out a couple months ago.
Oh, cool. I haven't heard of those ones.
Yeah. And I guess in a way, Megan is Missing would kind
Oh,
of
I remember that.
it kind of fits into this, but I think that falls more into actual found footage.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
It's been years since I watched Megan is Missing, and I don't plan on doing it again, even though TikTok sometimes wants me to.
Dude, yeah. So Megan is Missing. I remember that was like a huge craze on
Mm-hmm.
like social media, but recently, and it looks like this is old,
Mm-hmm.
2011.
Yeah, so Megan is Missing is
Yeah.
old. I watched it in college when it first like kind of surfaced. It didn't go viral until a couple of years ago when
Yeah.
TikTok found it.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It's not that great. It's
Yeah.
a movie made for Midwestern moms who are afraid of their teenagers using the internet.
Ah.
So,
I
and
see.
then there is a very graphic 10 to 20 minute rape scene at the end. And that's where the disturbing factor comes in. Like, it is a very long rape scene.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, it looks like I can't watch it on anything for free.
Yeah.
It
used to be on Netflix. That's how I watched it.
Yeah.
Like many, many years ago. But yeah. So Unfriended, it's fun. I liked it. I get why Screen Life isn't as popular to tell movies. I haven't watched Searching or Missing yet. Because I don't know. I think this movie, I like it so much because it's such a time capsule of when we were in college and later grad school, of that kind of version of the internet.
Yeah.
So it's nostalgic. Like Blair's idea to get around not calling the police is to go on chat roulette.
Yeah, that's very clever.
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, chat roulette. I was like, oh dang.
And how did she not get a single penis in that moment?
I know she didn't. So I was like, amazing. Man.
I guess we can just get into it.
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
Our central character is Blair, who is pure and virginal and gonna have Skype sex with her equally pure and virginal boyfriend, who's kind of creepy. I don't like him. Like, if I'm choosing between the two, I would choose Adam over Mitchie.
Really? Adam's like, what? He's like wild. What about Ken?
Ken's just that guy you're friends with.
There's only 3 guys to choose from.
Yeah. But we have to talk about this whole friend group as a whole, because this is an ensemble movie.
Yeah.
They all fucking suck. They all hate each other. They're just friends due to social proximity of high school. Once they graduate, which isn't going to happen now because they're all dead, they're never going to talk to each other again.
Right. Yeah, they like really suck.
Like the way they talk to Val, how they're like friends with Val, but they're shit talking her so much behind her back and to her face. Like, no one likes Val except for Val. But you guys are going to a concert with her?
Yeah, a concert. I didn't catch where they were going, but I did like, I don't know what I was doing. Must have like looked away, but then I got they were like trying to get seats like in the orchestra seating or whatever. But I was like, where are they going together? Like a play? Okay, so a concert.
And I do agree that Val sucks because she said that balcony is better than orchestra.
No, that's like not true.
Which, now that I'm older, I do appreciate balcony seating. When I saw the Mountain Goats, they had a lot of cool lighting that I wouldn't have seen from the orchestra. But also, I had to not be in the orchestra. Otherwise, I would have passed out because I can't not stand with my knees locked. So I appreciate balcony. But if I can, I will do orchestra anytime.
Yeah. Right. Like, especially if you're like a teen going like your favorite show or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, these kids got to go in the front. But yeah, they totally suck.
Yeah. But anyway, their Skype sex is interrupted. It never really got started. What Mitchie has a just knife with him for some.
Right. I was like, why does he have that right there? And why is this? I hate when like dudes have their shirt off. Like, I don't really care. Like, like just on like a Zoom call or something, I found that like strange. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I was immediately put off by Mitch because of that. So you're right. I was like, oh, this guy out of here.
Like, Adam's wild, but like fixable.
Yes, he's fixable. He's only wild because he was drinking. I'm sure he'd be fine otherwise.
Yeah.
He has a fucking gun though. What's with these kids? They have like weapons and shit on their nightstand.
You know, I feel like I should know because we were kids at this time as well.
I didn't have like a knife or a gun nearby.
I didn't use iMessage on my MacBook.
Yeah, like didn't you just text on your phone?
Yeah. Like that's something that gets me. I just watched a new movie recently where iMessage plays a role. For me, it's like, who's actually using iMessage?
Dude, nobody. Nobody but like I would use whenever Luke still had an iPhone, if I ever like forgot like I would like go to work sometimes and like sometimes I'd like forget my cell phone at home. I would iMessage him from my Mac if I needed to contact him, but that was like twice ever. Never used iMessage again. Damn.
So that was a little unrealistic. I thought they went a little too hard with like how TeenSpeak Blair wrote. Just it was conflicting with kind of the image we were supposed to get of Blair, where she's kind of a goody two shoes.
Like how she was typing and stuff.
Yeah. Because Adam's like, oh, fucking perfect Blair, never does anything wrong. So, and she's also a pure little virgin, as we're led to believe. So I feel like her grammar would probably maybe be a little smarter.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Mitchie. Babe.
Yeah, like Mitchie. Oh my God, like you are freaking me out, okay? Why are you freaking me out? Just like, shut up.
So I was like, the text messaging didn't feel natural to me, but that could just be a biased interpretation since we are writers.
We're old now, yeah.
We're old now, and we're writers. We've been writers since we were 18.
Yes. So yeah, we don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
With the letter U.
Unless I'm being intentionally stupid or condescending in some way.
Right. Or like, unless you like, not that anyone should be texting while driving, but what if you have to like shoot off like some letters real quick?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't even be doing that.
There's Jess, who has very high school straightened blonde hair.
Oh yes. Yes.
She's the slutty one of the friend group.
Of course she is. She's the slutty one because she had makeup on and blonde hair that was straightened, and they showed her like with a straightener in the beginning of the thing, like straightening it at night.
Yeah, that was the setup of this movie is a little confusing for me because it's early enough that they're all having a Skype chat.
Yeah.
But late enough that they're not just making plans to meet up and hang out.
Yeah, they were. If you caught some of the timestamps whenever Blair was on Facebook message, it was like between 8:30 and 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I guess it's like Skype chat time for them.
Yeah. And because of that knowledge, I get why screen life isn't used a whole lot for horror movies, because the whole time I was like, you could just like leave your computer.
Right. Yeah, you could leave your computer.
Like, especially at the beginning, they didn't know it was some like evil ghost thing. They just thought it was a troll, which Blair didn't know what a troll was. Like, come the fuck on, Blair.
Weird. Yeah,
come
Blair,
the fuck on, writers.
Stupid. I know.
Everyone by 2014 knew what a troll was.
Yes, if you knew what like the internet was, you knew what a troll was.
Yeah.
Also, tell me if you think this was like a bit unrealistic, because I was like, there's no fucking way this would happen. Is they were all chatting and then they were talking shit on Val, and then they were like, okay, well, I'm gonna add Val, and she was just like online. I was like, what the fuck? You're not gonna text her and tell her to get online? She's just already there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Instances like that really kind of showcased how this was written by at this time 10 years ago by someone in their 30s, late 30s, early 40s even. Because there was a time in our lives where we would just get on the computer and sit on AIM all night.
Yeah.
But aside from grad school, when David and he's the only person I would Skype every night, we would just say, hey, you ready to Skype? We would message each other. We wouldn't just sit on Skype all the time. The only time
to be added to a chat.
The only time I ever did that, and I think the only time anyone's ever done that in their life, is for work purposes. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. I said that, and even then I'll sit all day and no one randomly adds me to their conversation that's already begun.
Yeah.
So that was really funny. I was like, that's not fucking real.
Yeah, so that was a little unbelievable.
Right. That was funny though.
It was.
Oh man.
And Val's just like ready to chat, like she's just been waiting for someone to Skype call her.
Yeah, she's like sitting in her bathroom or some shit, like, hey, I'm like, do it. She's the one that had the hair straightened and curler, my bad, not the other girl.
Well, no, the blonde girl was also
Oh, did she? Oh,
she was straightening in the beginning because
Oh.
Chekhov's straightener, that's what the ghost uses to kill her later.
Oh, yes.
And then there's the last character to discuss is Ken, who I like Ken. He's probably my favorite character in the movie because he's the only one that fucking knows how a computer works.
I know, he literally has to explain everything to everybody. And then who wasn't it? And this has nothing to do with that, but like Blair also didn't know how to play like Never Would I Ever, Never Have I Ever. Why doesn't she know how to do that? Like, what the fuck?
Like, we would just play that at lunch in high school.
Right, like what is she doing?
Like you could tell what moments were written in the script to explain it to the parents sitting in the audience, like the troll explanation, and then Never Have I Ever, which, let's be real, our parents know how to play Never Have I Ever.
Right. Yeah.
Like, we're at like the parent age, getting close at least. We know how to play Never Have I Ever.
Yes, we do.
And even if they didn't, just get it started. Don't waste time on this explanation.
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, Ken was the best character. He was the funniest. And had he not died due to a horrible blender death.
Yeah, Jesus, that was fucking insane.
He probably would have been the first one to say, you know what, guys, we could just like log off and meet up in person.
He did suggest like going to get a couple people at one point for other reasons, but like, yeah, why don't they just like have a sleepover or some shit?
Yeah.
Clearly it's the weekend.
I mean, I know we can't do that for the purpose of the screen casting technology.
Right.
But in reality, that's probably what would happen. All their parents are gone.
Yeah.
They would meet up somewhere. They would get away from their computers and meet at the Wendy's.
Yes, they would, that he talked about.
Yeah. For Val and Jess to fight in front of, and then they all have spicy chicken sandwiches.
Yeah.
Which sounds delicious right now. I know you're a vegetarian, but trust me, they're delicious.
They are. I think I don't know if I may have had one before. I mean, there was a time when I did eat meat, of course, but like, I don't know if I've ever had their spicy chicken sandwich. Sounds good though. I like a little bit of a spicy these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they didn't get together, did they? They just fucking dicked around and stayed on Skype.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, what happens next? Oh, wait, I guess we didn't really go through it, but are we going just through characters and stuff?
Sorry, I think that's all the characters. We could talk about the paramedics that show up. Well, the other character is the ghost of Laura Barnes, who killed herself. Or at least we think it is. She's going by the name Billy.
Yeah. But apparently that's her like email address, or that's her like accounts already, and like people didn't realize that or something. Yeah. Unless it was like a new, I don't know, that was a little confusing. I don't know if it was her account the whole time or if it's like a new account. I don't know. But why Billy for Laura?
Yeah. I guess to throw people off. I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
So yeah, moving into story, it's a pretty straightforward story. A group of, well, first Mitchie and Blair are in the process of agreeing when they're going to have sex for the first time ever, because they're both pure innocent little virgins who are waiting until they're both ready to do it.
And of course it is after prom. Of course that's when you have sex for the first time, is after prom night. Somehow you make it back alone to your boyfriend's house on prom night, and nobody will say a word about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably get a hotel and a room key.
A hotel, but like, who's gonna pay for that? Like, your parent?
Your parents' credit card?
I guess. Yeah, I guess. I don't know what these people are doing. I guess they have, well, they all have Macs. So they have money. What? The one has a gun?
Yeah, just casually. From his high school weed dealing business, probably.
Yeah, what the fuck? These kids are doing really bad stuff. I'm like, guys.
Yeah.
So they're trying to plan their first sexual encounter while they're having, I guess they're trying to like have sex.
Like Zoom sex.
Zoom sex.
Very awkward.
Awkwardly, because like she has like a shirt on with no bra under it.
Which apparently she's getting ready for bed. I don't know what day of the week it is. I can't remember what the screencast said, but it's 8:30.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll have to look it up and see if it says what day.
But they get a call from the rest of the group because I guess this is just what they fucking do. Instead of hanging out like normal people, they say ignore the call. But no, the call gets answered anyway as they're getting down to it, and they're like, "Oh, we caught you! You got a boner."
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, why is your boner so big? So that was, but like, how did other people jump on their call? I guess that could just happen.
You mean
on Skype?
The ghost did it.
Oh, the ghost made that happen.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was like, why does that happen?
Yeah, no, it was the ghost. We can safely conclude that it was the ghost, and they're like, "Hey, who is this guy? I can't kick him. Neither can I. Let's end the call." And so the call's ended, and we see Blair and Mitchie type for a little bit, and then they do the call again, still there. They do it again, and then both Mitch and Blair get suspicious messages from their dead friend Laura, who killed herself because of a video of her at a party went viral. And at this point, yes,
about this video. In the video, I can't tell did she like shit her pants or something?
Yes.
Is that what that was? I could not tell if that was blood or like she shit her, but like why did that happen?
She was shit-faced.
But and you like poop yourself?
If you're like super shit-faced, and maybe.
Oh no.
I mean, it's never happened to me, but there's this viral video of the Ohio State blonde chick who pooped her pants at a party.
Oh, is it like a parody of that?
Yeah, I think it's a reference to that, which is a kind of deep cut reference. There's a right-wing YouTuber who people say it is just to get her to shut up when she's being obnoxious.
Nice.
She won't admit that it's her, but I mean, it looks like her. They're like both blonde.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
I've never seen them in the same room together. But yeah, she probably like lost control of her bowels or something. Like she thought it was just a fart and it wasn't.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I hate to laugh, but that's I was really like, what is that? Is that shit?
Yeah.
But then I was like, what if she got raped and it's blood? You know what I mean? Like a lot.
I don't think it's that dark of a movie. But
thank you.
So because of this, she was bullied relentlessly and she killed herself. As the movie starts, Blair's actually watching the video of her killing herself.
Of course.
Which the way Laura holds the gun makes no sense to me, not critiquing someone's suicide. But
yeah, I couldn't tell what was happening. I was like, how is she going to kill herself? And I was like, oh, is she holding a gun in front of her face?
Like 3 feet from her face.
Yeah, because like guys, if you haven't seen the movie, it's like stretch your arms in front of you and straighten your arms. And then she was holding the gun back at her face, but like her fingertips were still pointed outward. So it was like really strange. I don't know how she pulled it off, but she did. Yeah. So
the dead girl Laura starts messaging Blair until basically tells her don't hang up. And she's like, I don't want to do this. And she goes to the profile to try and figure out who's doing it. And she's like, oh, this account's just been hacked and someone's fucking with us. Yeah. So she goes to like block her, unfriend her, and she can't because the ghost is manipulating the internet. But when she refreshes the page, she's able to do so. And the ghost is like, shouldn't have done that, bitch.
It's like, well, you fucked up, ghost, because I refreshed it and it fucked you up.
Yeah. And it's right around here where they're like, oh, it's probably Val fucking with us.
Yeah, just blame it on Val.
Val's a fucking bitch. She sucks, but we're all also really good friends with her and use her for stuff.
Right. But also, if it's true that she does like sit on Skype all day, what else are you gonna do? So I get why they think that it's her.
Yeah. So they call her and then they fight over trivial shit. Like,
yeah, they do fight immediately. I'm like, what the fuck?
She and Jess apparently absolutely hate each other, and they're like, fuck you, bitch, you're the slut. No, you're the slut. You're the slut. And Blair condescendingly is like, girls, stop fighting. I love you both so much.
You're so perfect, and I am your friend. I love you.
Like, I'm guessing Blair is the only one that's actually friends with Val.
Oh, probably.
And everybody else just puts up with Val, or maybe they're all friends with Mitchie and they just both end up having to put up with
Blair.
Yeah. Blair and Val by extension.
Yeah, by proxy.
Because that's like a problem with this movie is I really don't see how any of these characters are friends because they all seem to just not like each other at all.
Yeah, like where's the connector there? Because I was trying to and I also at one point thought that maybe Mitch might have dated another person in the group before Blair. And I was trying, because you know how people like date each other. So I was like, was anyone with anybody else in the group? And it seems like that wasn't the case. And I wasn't sure if Mitch was with Laura, the one that killed herself, but like that's not made clear at all. So I don't know. All we know is that Blair and Laura were friends at one point.
Yeah.
In childhood.
And we know Mitchie made out with Laura at some point.
Oh yeah. That's why I wasn't sure if he was with her.
And you know, that is just a thing that happens in high school circles. David and I talk about it all the time, how like incestuous our friend group was.
Right. That's a good way to describe that too, when everyone just like dates each other in a group.
Yeah.
Which is
like,
weird.
You know, obviously it's not incest, but when you all start dating the same people after your friend breaks up with them, it gets a little weird. Everybody,
Agreed.
It becomes incest because you're all Eskimo brothers and sisters.
Yeah, you're just like having sex with each other. It's weird.
Yeah.
If they are in fact doing that. Yeah.
Sorry, that's probably a problematic term. I might have to bleep that.
What, the incest? The Eskimo. Oh, yep. Maybe.
Oh God. I don't know what the new PC term for that what that is now. I'm sorry.
Just like just literal brothers and sisters.
No.
And how about like rural brothers and sisters?
Ooh, maybe.
Is that a little bit better? Because it's a little bit more rural. A little bit of a gray area in the rural areas, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Back in 2014, we would still be using that term though.
Yeah, you should look up what the PC term is for that now, because I'm curious if it's something like kind of funny or like very, very like very strict with the language, like incestuous brothers and sisters / friends. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah. So they call Val and she's like, I'm not doing anything. Fuck you guys. And she gets disconnected somehow. I can't remember. Her dog's barking. No, what happens is Blair's like, haha, these are great pictures of you, Val. And she's like, what? And she's like, Jess just posted all these pictures of you drunk and shit-faced at a party. And naturally Val's like, delete this shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? And Jess can't delete them, but then she's able to. And then Adam's profile uploads them, and Billy finally says something like, haha, I did it. It was me. And she's upset, and then Billy private messages her something before they post it on the Facebook. And she's like, that's so fucked up. How did you get this? I'm calling the cops. And she calls the cops despite Billy telling her, no, that's a bad idea. And then she disconnects. And then Blair sees what was posted once it's posted on Facebook is Laura saying, hey, could you delete that video if you're the one that posted it? And Val just says, like anyone would in this situation, haha, no, go kill yourself.
Of course. I mean, that's probably what I would say too if Sam said some shit to me. Like, Sam, I don't feel like taking that down. Just go kill yourself. Oh my God. I also messaged you. I Googled it.
I have found an article titled Why We Need to Stop Using the Term Eskimo Brothers.
That's from that article.
Okay. All right. I haven't read it yet. I will read it. It's from Bustle and educate myself.
Yeah,
I
that's the
apologize
thesis.
for using that term. I just went back to high school for a second.
Instead we'll say a guy who had sex with the same girl as I once did.
But we can come up with a better term than that.
Can't there be a more snappy term?
Yeah.
With less words, and then don't add us, but go ahead.
Yeah.
And email us.
We'll draft something.
Yep.
Anyway,
moving on.
They see that she told Laura to kill herself, and everybody's it's also weird because in 2014 I don't remember Facebook reactionariness being what it is in this movie.
Yeah, like immediate and a lot.
Yeah. Like 2 years prior, 2011, 2012, maybe. Mm-hmm. But by 2014, and I guess these are high schoolers, but still, I feel like 2014 people were gravitating more towards Instagram than Facebook. But like the reaction is rapid fire. And
I was like, dang, everybody is sitting on Facebook, just like they're sitting on Skype in this movie, waiting.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, wow, you're a bitch. You should kill yourself.
You should kill yourself. No, you kill yourself. It's like, oh my God, guys.
Everybody chill. We saw where this led last time.
Right. It was like 10 people rapid fire, like immediately. And I was like, oh shit, that's also another thing that does not, you're right, it does not happen on Facebook because it was like phasing out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And it was the comments, like.
And the comments do.
Yeah, like comments. I'm pretty sure you had to refresh still in 2014 to see them update.
Right. You can't just see them update like someone's texting you on your phone. Yes, you had to update your page, refresh your page, I mean.
And it was quite nice seeing the old Facebook layout.
It was.
It was nice and nostalgic. So they try and get back on the Skype call with Val, and they manage to get her, but it's just kind of a still image of her. And then she has a seizure or something, and Blair's like, oh my God, we gotta call an ambulance. She just had a seizure. And when the ambulance people get there, they call it a 5510 or 1055.
Something like that, yeah.
Whatever the suicide is. And they see that, and they're like, oh shit, what just happened? We need to go over there. We will drive over there right now. And she's like, no, we can't leave because the ghost thing is telling them they can't leave.
Yes. Oh, and another quick like aside of regarding whenever they were using Google at this point to like look up those like terms that they were saying, those like codes. Mm-hmm. So it goes to show how differently like I personally search than like I guess back in 2014 how people searched online. Like she just typed in like paramedic like codes or whatever, right? But like today I would have typed in like paramedic code like 55, like I would have typed in the exact code that I heard. Yeah. But she didn't do that. She just typed in the basic one and then had to like scroll. So she like made more work for herself. I don't know if it's a difference in like how we know how to use search terms now, or I don't know if it was she was just being stupid. You know
I think we can conclude that Blair's just stupid.
Blair is just stupid. She doesn't know what the fuck she did. Because once she typed in, I was like, why did you do that? Type in the fucking number, Blair. God, sorry, but yeah, acting like an idiot.
So,
frustrate me.
Finally, they decide, okay, we got to boot this guy for good.
Yeah, and they do that weird thing.
Yeah, Ken sends out sends them out like a Trojan detector thing to kick out the thing, and they all do it, and naturally Blair has like 47 tabs open so she can't just empty her trash can.
And then she's like, my trash can's so full because I never emptied in my life.
She cries so much.
I know. She's just crying. She's like, oh my God, like I don't know what's happening. Like I can't make it go. And then she said something real dumb. She was like, I don't know why is there like a spinning pinwheel? Like I don't know why it's like doing that. I was like, dude, that's like what it does.
Have you ever used a computer? That's a direct quote from this movie, because she gets an email or something from the killer. I can't remember what the exact email was.
And they said, forward it to me or something.
Forward it to me. And she's like, I can't. Do you know how to use a fucking computer? No.
I know, Ken. Yeah, it's like, it's wherever the reply thingy is. And she's like, it's not there. And I'm like, are you sure about that?
In her defense, it wasn't there, but also her friends jumped to the correct conclusion.
Yeah, they're right to be skeptical about her
Yeah.
even owning a computer.
Yeah. They boot the guy out and they're like, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, they get all
Like
get
that
all
resolves
worked up.
the issue of their not friend being dead.
Yeah, yeah, they get all fired up.
Yeah. And then the guy comes back, but his camera's actually on.
Oh.
And we don't know where it is until Ken makes the connection that, oh no, I see myself in the camera, and he finds it. And then his camera goes black and everybody panics. And then it comes back and his hands are in the blender being blended.
And then these parts in the blender.
Which, you know, that irrational fear we all have that for some reason we're going to reach down into the garbage disposal and happen to hit the light switch.
Yeah. And happen to get your fucking hand just like destroyed.
Yeah, I think that's a very rational fear we all have.
Yeah, just like don't reach down in there.
But
just
sometimes it calls to me.
So yeah, sometimes, but you gotta really be like,
sometimes that intrusive thought comes in and it comes
like,
to me.
Sam, wouldn't it be funny if you put your hand in the blender and it's like, well, I've never tried it, but I guess I could do it because I won't get hurt. I understand. I see where you're coming from. But he does it because he's possessed by the internet demon. So
yeah, and then his face gets slammed into the blender.
Right. So here's how it happens. His hand's in the blender, and then he's trying to get his hand out of the blender. So he breaks the glass blender thing. And so that's gone. And so that frees up the space for him to actually like lay his throat on top of the spinning metal. For those of you who are like, how the fuck did he put his neck in the blender if the blender cup's there? It's not there anymore, guys. He broke it because it was glass. It was a glass one, not a plastic one. And then he's dead. And then he's dead now. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're dropping like flies.
Yes, they begin dropping like flies. And I think it's around this time that the next important plot point happens, which is the ghost says, let's
never have I ever.
Never have I ever. Sorry. In Kings, it's 3 fucking things, but it's never have I ever in this one. So never have I ever, you hold up 5 fingers and then you say, never have I ever done this. And if it's something you've done, you put a finger down. And the ghost uses this time to expose the group's dirty secrets. So the first one is that Jess started a rumor that Blair has an eating disorder because, as we keep saying, these people aren't really friends with one another. They fucking hate each other.
That's so funny. Why would you do that?
It's so high school too. She's like, well, there's reason to believe it. You're always like, oh no, I'm sorry, I already ate.
Yeah, but if she already ate, that means she ate earlier.
Yeah.
Stupid idiot.
Or she's just being a dumb teenage girl and doesn't want to eat in front of people.
Yeah, or that too, because she is very thin. But yeah, I understand. I thought never have I ever was like 10 fingers. Did you say it was 3?
So in Kings, it's one of the mini games in the drinking game Kings where you hold up 3, but never have I ever. I've always played it with 5 fingers.
5 fingers? Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha. So the next one is that Blair wrecked
a truck or some
Jess's
shit.
mom's car. Like the bitch she is. Like that's a little worse than, you know, a really mean rumor. Like the rumor sucks. I'm not going to downplay that ever happening to anyone.
Yeah.
But wrecking your friend's mom's car and not admitting to it is really shitty. Like,
well, did it get totaled?
It probably.
Because whenever kids say they wreck something, I always imagine it to be like a tiny scratch. So I'm like, that's not a big deal. But if it was totaled, then yes, that is a huge deal because like that's fucked up. Why was she driving her friend's mom's car? That's weird.
Yeah, it doesn't even sound like Jess was with them. So
yeah, what the hell? Like, what's going on? You're like, oh, I was drunk. It's like, why were you drunk at your friend's house? She wasn't there, and you drove her parents' car somewhere and wrecked it. Yeah, that's strange. That's very strange. But okay, I guess they needed something.
Yeah, Blair sucks.
Yeah, she's so stupid. She can't even drive. She doesn't even know which car is hers to drive. The next thing is that Mitch ratted Adam out to the cops for selling pot. Ooh, that's because he's being like a criminal. But back then, pot was like a big no-no. Yeah. Now it's just what you do on Saturdays.
You swing
Yeah,
by
I feel like
you
back then it
swing
was
by
like,
the pot store.
yeah, I know, right? Like go to the store and buy it, but like back then it was like dealing like cocaine. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
At least treated that way in
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
During my OC rewatch, there's the few episodes where Seth starts smoking pot,
Yeah.
and some people treat it like a big deal, and others are just like, well, if you're going through this phase right now, that's fine. But it was treated like, that's not the best thing for you to be doing by yourself, bro.
Right. Yeah. Like go get a
Like,
hobby.
yeah. But
Yeah.
then I was listening to a podcast with the actor who plays Seth Cohen, and he just casually says, yeah, I was smoking pot at the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird that how in 10 years our culture is shifted towards, yeah, pot
Yeah.
is better than alcohol. So why is
Right. Right.
one this treated so horribly and the other isn't?
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. Yeah. Agreed.
Adam gets pissy and he's like, put your finger down if you've had sex. Blair, put a finger down. And everybody's like, oh, gasp.
Oh, you know what? So this part confused me because in the beginning, I don't know if it was like I swear I was paying attention the whole time, but like it it didn't occur to me that it was made it was said that Blair was a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, what's the problem? Everybody's probably had sex, but then they're like, oh, Blair had sex. I was like, yeah, she probably did. But then I was like, oh wait, is she supposed to be like a virgin?
Yeah.
What the
No,
fuck?
she and Mitch are probably that couple that make it a big deal that they haven't had sex yet.
Oh,
And they're waiting
gotcha.
for the right moment.
Yeah. Well, then why lie if you're in a friend group? That's
Mhm.
awkward. But like that's also like very surprising that like Adam didn't say anything because they said that they're best friends.
Yeah. So it's revealed that Blair had sex with Adam, who's Mitchie's best friend, and then the ghost sends them a video of it happening because, like, for some reason,
Of
Adam has
course.
a video of it.
Absolutely. Why not? And like
And
weird pictures that are memes.
and Blair keeps saying, it didn't mean anything. It was one time we were drunk and it lasted like 1 second.
Yeah, but then her story changes and she says that they had sex and then they went back to have sex again to see if they liked each other and they didn't.
Yeah.
And then yeah. So I
They
was like, okay.
and then as they're fighting, both Adam and Blair get something printed through their printer and they can't reveal what it is.
And Mitchie's like, oh, you have secrets
Yeah.
together
You
because
guys
your
have
printer's screwed. I was
secrets
like, dude.
and you guys had sex and I didn't have sex and I'm gonna hang up. And if he hangs up, he dies. So Blair's like, no, don't die. And then she shows what's on the paper and Adam shoots himself in the face, or the ghost makes Adam shoot himself in the face.
I was not expecting that. And like, I was like, I laughed because it was so surprising.
Yeah. The next one to drop like a fly is Jess. She starts hearing noises in her house and she freaks out and her camera goes black. And the next thing we see of her is the hair straightener curling iron shoved down her throat.
Yeah.
And the ghost is super petty and posts that picture on Facebook and says, finally, that bitch shut up.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. The meme, because it said like, yeah, what did it say? Like something about like she could finally, and it said like STFU.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a pretty good meme. I'm gonna look it up. Meme.
So all that's left is the ghost and Mitchie and Blair, and they're like, I love you so much, I'm so sorry. I love you so much, I'm so sorry. Until the knife comes back into play and Mitch's head is bashed down into it. And he dies that way. Finally, it's just Blair, and she's upset. Her computer gets shut, which I think this is a cool shot. Her computer gets shut, and there's someone in the room with her. And then the last thing we see is a jump scare of the ghost of Laura Barnes, which presumably kills her. I've heard rumors. I've never actually found the deleted scene online, but I guess there is like a deleted scene of Blair's corpse in her front yard.
Oh.
So maybe that's one of I didn't check the rating. I'm guessing this is probably PG-13 because there's nothing really to make it R-rated. I'm guessing that was probably something they had to cut if they wanted to keep it a true teen scream.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, that was the story. Pretty convoluted and silly, but I liked it. It was fun.
Yes, it was very fun.
This is pre-Hereditary A24 horror. So you don't have, it's not trying to be elevated. It's just trying to be a good old time. And I had a good old time with this story.
Yes, me too. This was actually pretty good because I wasn't sure. I didn't know what to expect because I hadn't seen it before. But I really liked it a lot. I thought I was gonna, because I got in late last night, so I was gonna like just watch half of it and the other half today.
Mhm.
But I like was really engrossed. I sat through the whole thing and I didn't want to pause it at all, so I just like watched the whole thing. It was really good. Yeah. So
And maybe we're biased because we were, I mean, I think when this movie came out, we would have been a few years older than these characters, but it's
yeah.
still the version of the internet we were growing up with. There wasn't like a huge momentous change between
Right.
2011 when we would have been this age and 2014.
Yeah.
The only thing missing was Blair scrolling through aesthetic Tumblr posts.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I was looking at her
Blair
tabs.
absolutely has a just girly things
Yes.
Tumblr.
Yeah, I was looking at her tabs and stuff, and it was all like super on brand for her.
Yeah.
Like random shit.
Yeah.
And I just thought of this. Tell me if you think this is like a stupid thing that would never happen. Whenever they were on like the Skype call all together and having fun, Blair fucking like puts music on her laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you do that so you can't hear?
Yeah, that's true. She does turn on some music.
She,
and
like,
she's
puts
not
on the
wearing
song.
headphones. At least
Yeah,
to our knowledge, she's not wearing headphones.
No, she's not wearing headphones until like later or whatever, but like she puts the song on. I was like, everyone's gonna be able to hear it.
Yeah.
And get annoyed. So that was, yeah. Just thought of that. There's a lot of little things. Yeah, watch it. We should watch it again sometime together, which would be hilarious.
Yeah. There are a lot of little things that you blink
Yeah.
and you miss.
Right.
So moving into production, because this is a production thing I'm about to say, is
Yeah.
a cool aspect of this movie is it is 100% through Blair's perspective.
Yeah.
Everything we see is being seen through her eyes. So we are in her brain, and that's kind of a challenge to maybe wrap your head around because we do see her on the screen as well in her Skype window, but it's through her perspective. And it didn't really click with me until the laptop closed and suddenly we were dying.
Yes.
So I thought that was really cool if you watch this and it didn't click in your head. And I meant to look out for like the time jumps that I have heard happen, but I didn't really notice those a lot, just because I was so compelled with all the shit going on with the screen, because it's a lot going on with the screen.
Yeah, I know there was a lot, and there was a lot of, although that they were doing like mainly the same thing the whole time, which was the Skype call. They did well with like doing different stuff with like different screens and windows are popping up, and then like also talking on iMessage, and then like on Facebook, opening up like an Instagram page, doing that Facebook memorial thing. And that was kind of cool. That's when it said like I got her, and I was like, why does it say that? And in the end, we find out in the video because she says I got her, and I was like, oh shit. So that was actually kind of a really cool full circle thing there. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I like hearing the clicking of the mouse and the typing of the keys and stuff, so that sounds pretty good to me. But
yeah, and this looked like a real MacBook. I can't imagine how expensive this movie actually was. I was going to say it's kind of a fun low budget idea, but then you have to remember that everything we saw on screen is trademarked or copyrighted in some way.
Yeah.
So it was really cool that Facebook agreed to be a part of this and they didn't invent some stupid, poorly slapped together social media site. Skype agreed to do it.
Yeah,
Instagram, chat roulette.
I think like, was she listening to Spotify or iTunes, whichever one?
She was listening to both. So
Jesus.
Well, she was listening to iTunes, and
so
the ghost pulled up Spotify.
Oh, I remember seeing
which both. Spotify would have still been super new.
It would have been. I was like, the fuck is Spotify?
I remember in high school before I graduated, Spotify was becoming the new thing to replace Pandora because
Pandora.
you had unlimited skips, and then they
Yeah.
took that away as soon as everybody moved over to Spotify.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yep. I remember it was Pandora.
Yep. So I guess they knew that this is a horror movie, so they would be getting a lot of probably clicks and stuff through teens discovering apps through this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was, I would have been taken out of the movie if they were using like poorly slapped together fake search engines, fake emails, because they never look real compared to the real social medias that we're used to using.
Oh, even Gmail, because she wanted her email.
Yeah, they got Google too, like actual Google, not Google or anything.
Yeah, not like not like the fake Bing, which is like Sing.
Yeah. So I think that was really cool, and so that really helps cement this movie in kind of a reality for the viewers. It wouldn't feel real.
It's immersive. It's immersive. Yeah.
So I liked it.
I did, yeah.
What else was there? That's really all the production notes. The glitchy cameras, I think, makes sense for 2014.
Yes, it does.
And why I don't. My final like opinion of this movie is I think it'll be a fun movie for people our age.
Yeah.
Because there is a nostalgic factor to it.
There is.
I'm not sure about Gen Z and the upcoming Gen Alpha if they'll look back at this movie and enjoy it, because the cameras are so fucking glitchy.
Yeah, they won't get it.
They're using Facebook like it's their main social media platform, and who the fuck uses Facebook for anything other than doom scrolling?
Yeah, other than keeping track of people's birthdays and shit. Yeah, like no, they won't have any connection to it, so they might not find it entertaining at all.
And they're using Skype, like
they don't. There is no Skype anymore, guys. It's Zoom.
Like somehow Skype fumbled a 40-yard lead to Zoom during the pandemic because Zoom just has better everything. We're on Zoom, we're not on Skype.
Yeah, we're not on fucking Skype, and like Skype is like a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
to try to fucking use.
I don't know if you remember in grad school, but I think Skype made the switch over to you have to have a Microsoft account.
Oh,
yeah. So I lost the original Skype I was using to chat with you and Nicole outside of school hours.
Right.
I know we were just talking shit that no one does this, but when you're in grad school and in online classes and you're living in a city and you don't want to get on the metro, you use it. That's why you would use it. So we had to re-add each other because they did that. Yeah. And then Zoom's like, hey, you can do all these cool features that you can't do in Skype. And people during the pandemic were like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was a game changer.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I think people any younger than us wouldn't get it.
Yeah, they might like it, but I think it'll hit people our age and a little older and a little younger. The people who were in school from in the 2010s will enjoy this movie, be like, ah, shit, fucking chat roulette.
Yeah, but anyone
that's how I
younger,
felt.
Yeah, they'll be like, a lot of stuff will be lost on them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially the Facebook thing, and like absolutely no Snapchat, Instagram, none of that shit, whatever else people fucking use. But those are like the top ones. So that's I don't think I have any production notes, but
because there's no score to comment on. It's found footage in a new form, so you're not going to have those high production values that you see in a Halloween or shit like that.
Exactly, but I was still like, it was still really enjoyable. There are several aspects of the real horror show in this movie.
Cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying, absolutely. So that's a huge one. And just like dealing with people online and like having people post videos of you and like doing all this shit and getting into fights and having a very toxic friend group, and just like that's kind of like an overview of how a lot of high school groups were, just like toxic people being cutthroat. And like you may have friends that you grew up with, but the the landscape of high school will change you because of bullying and cliques and fitting in. So like you could just totally fuck up relationships with people that you once had, and they'll just like kill themselves. Like in this movie, they're like, she was like, oh, well, do you remember like we were best friends when we were kids? I'm sorry we drifted apart. And she was like, oh, is that how you see it? Because like you can drift apart from someone, but you can actually like be rejecting them and like all this crazy shit. So high school, awful time.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a really interesting take on that, because it's about high school like drama, but like times 100,000, because it leads to suicide now because we have the internet. So like bullying will never ever stop once you leave school.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Okay, so there's that. What else? Oh, how about something about how she was looking at that page where it said like don't answer messages from the dead. Like there's like if there's like a haunted person, like a ghost online and stuff like that. I'm sure there's like a ton of people that may believe that can happen. You know what I mean? Like there can like be like a ghost in the machine per se, and things can get possessed.
Yeah, that was a nice other little nostalgia thing, is those
like
weird forums.
Yeah, like a paranormal thing.
If we all recall, Slender Man was originally like an internet forum thing.
Creepypasta.
He didn't. I don't think he started as a creepypasta. I think. I'm trying to. This is so long ago. Like Slenderman's just become part of our American culture.
Yeah.
I think it was a photography contest on 4chan.
You might be right about that, dude.
So the pictures showed up first, and then the creepypasta, and then now the Hornets, the Hornets.
Oh, Marble Hornets. The YouTube video stuff. Oh
yeah.
My God. And then that's a whole other thing we could talk about, is YouTube video scaries. Those things.
Marble Hornets, and then the internet phenomenon happened. Those two girls stabbed their best friend for Slender Man. And then we got the shitty movie that we reviewed.
Oh, you know what? And that's a damn shame. That movie was so shitty. I wish they would make like a really good one. But like literally that ship has sailed. So we can't even make another Slenderman movie, because it'd be like it'd be too late.
Yeah, I don't think we can.
We can't, because it's like the phenomenon is past. So like we had the chance, they fucked it up and made a flop. And it had like all the stuff in the movie is none of it has anything to do with like the real lore of Slender Man anyway. They could have really had something cool going on, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Pissed off. I'm pissed. The documentary was more terrifying than the movie.
Oh yeah.
Because it was real, obviously, but still. What else? We got that. I'm just going to say the cyberbullying is going to encompass all the mean stuff that they're doing to each other, because that's cyberbullying anyway. What else? Having like a gun.
Oh yeah.
As a kid, like these are children in my eyes.
An irresponsible parent that leaves their guns unlocked.
Yeah, there's that. What else? I'm trying to think what else has even happened in the movie, because like it's just them fighting.
Having a boyfriend who sleeps with a knife on his nightstand.
Yeah. Yes. And that's like the first thing he does to try to be sexy. That's like his first thought is like, oh, I'll just grab this knife and like point it at my little camera thing on my laptop, because she's not really here. And having like Skype sex before real sex is kind of weird.
A little, like I feel a lot more vulnerable.
I agree, right? I agree with that too. Can't think of anything else right now. Going to a concert with friends you don't like. I don't know. Your friend killing herself and watching the video, and then having the video where that caused her to kill herself, like be cycled, almost like a cursed video type of a thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think there's any other like big time realistic things. Just the cyberbullying is the big one.
Yeah.
And having like fucking weapons in your house with your kids like waving it around. And the kid like having a drinking problem because he's like drinking the whole time and like drunk later. So I'm just like, dude, you're probably like 17, man. Well, actually, maybe it's like, we don't know if it's junior prom or senior prom.
I'm going to guess senior prom.
Senior prom. So like, do you think they're like 17, 18?
Yeah.
Year old kids? Okay.
So he's probably just getting in the wine cabinet.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, he was drinking whatever. It's hard to, the only thing about movies like this is like when they're in their own separate squares, it's hard to look at what everybody's doing at one time, but then also pay attention to other windows that like cover them up for a long time. So you kind of gotta choose who you want to look at for a while, and you can miss what the other person might be doing. But other than that, but that's just how it is when you do Zoom stuff anyway. So, all right. Well, I don't have any other realistic things.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
I really liked the movie. I think we covered a lot of stuff, and I think I agree. What you said though was like so true. It depends on the generation that you're coming from, and that might depend on if you enjoy this movie because of the nostalgia aspect, or if you think it's creepy, or if you even think it's creepy because of how technology has kind of changed, of course, in the past 10 years. So, but I liked it.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was funny because everyone was so dumb. It was fucked up too, and scary. Like crazy shit was happening too, and I was like, shit. So it really gets you. I like that. And the jump scares were actually a little bit intense because you're so focused on watching a certain part of the screen. So that it can get you every time because, you don't know when it's going to happen. So you're forced to look at that part of the screen. So I like that. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I can do the outro notes.
I think we covered it pretty well.
We did. We talked for almost an hour. So that's it, guys. And
good for us.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. So check it out, you guys. I would say this is a pretty cool hidden gem. I think they did the online ththing really, really well.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
It was a really fun time. I'd watch it again, honestly. It's pretty good. So if there's nothing else, Sam and I will be bidding you adieu. So, Real Horror Show. Is it cool if I do the outro notes? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Right. I wasn't going to stop you.
I wasn't sure if it was like, okay. Anyway, Real Horror Show is created by Sam Odie and Stormy Skies and is directed by Sam Odie. Today, we learned just do not cyberbully. Also, we learned in this movie, it blatantly says do not engage with like the ghost that's on Skype. And they did. So like they didn't even like do what they're supposed to do. So anyway, we learned.
Oh shit, we did forget to touch on the fact that it was Blair that posted the original video. It was revealed right at the end.
Yeah, that's why so like after everyone was dead, like she ratted out her boyfriend because he's the one that shared the video on like YouTube or whatever. And she was like, no, it wasn't us. But then she was like, it was him. And then he died immediately, like because he killed himself. And then
it was revealed she was the one that took the video.
Yeah, the ghost Laura was like, that must have been hard. But who posted, who like did the, or like whatever. So the video, we finally saw the end of the video that caused her to kill herself. And it was her with poopy pants. And then her friend like, I got her. And I was like, the fuck? Why would you post that video? You stupid. That's really dumb because like she's in the, I don't know. So it just solidifies that Blair is actually the worst person out of all of them. The worst. So the worst died last. Anyway. Okay. That's what we learned. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Oh, gosh, we talked for so long. I have to drink my water. So, like what you hear, you can find Real Horror Show on Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play Store, Stitcher, iTunes, and Pandora. Oh my God, Pandora. Throwback. We're there. So go check it out. Okay, guess what? We're on Facebook. Throwback. We do have a Facebook page.
We do.
We also have a Twitter at Horror Show Pod. We have a Instagram, Real Horror Show. We have Facebook, Real Horror Show. We also have a website, realhorrorshow.com. Okay, so check it out. All of our episodes are on there. If you want to interact with us or want to make sure we're real humans, not space vampires, oh my God, throwback, we've got a Gmail account. Email us, okay? realhorrorshowpodcast@gmail.com. Seriously, emailing us would be pretty cool because like I feel like getting questions or like requests and stuff, that would be kind of neat. So guys, don't sleep on Gmail. Everybody's got it. Throwback. Gmail. Okay, cool.
God, everything we have is in this movie because we started this podcast
you guys
2017.
I know, like seriously, that like Pandora, Spotify, Skype. I mean, like we could get a Skype if you guys wanted to like do a super throwback. I don't know if it would work, but all right. Anyway, get me all fired up. Okay. So if you want to argue with us about something or think you have a really great horror movie review that you're dying to share with two random strangers from the internet, you can share them with us. Nobody ever does, but submissions are always and forever open for movie reviews if you have a movie review. Okay, so go on our website and check out the submit page on our website. We have a rubric, follow it before sending us anything. Okay, wonderful. But that may be retired soon, you guys. Once Stormy goes through this document that I'm reading, some of the stuff might be retired because you guys never hit us up, which is fine. That's okay. If you don't want to hit us up, I'll stop mentioning it. Okay. But we love horror, and if you're listening, you do too. Please help us keep our project going by visiting our support page on our website, where you can make a one-time donation via PayPal. Excuse me. We also have an Amazon wish list. Amazon and PayPal, these are things that were not in the movie. These kids, they could not afford to buy stuff. But we do have an Amazon wish list if you feel like buying us something tangible, and that's going to help convey your love to us. So you can buy us something. You can buy us a coffee. We have a button on our website called Buy Us a Coffee. It's a button you can click that will pay us the amount you would need to buy us a coffee. A little bit goes a long way. So yeah, it's been a while since I thought about that Buy Us a Coffee button. Sometimes we can't help out artists monetarily, and that's okay. By something liking, sharing, retweeting, and even giving us an awesome review will help us out tremendously. So please go for it. And any other pertinent news to share?
I don't have anything right now.
All right. I don't think I have anything either, guys. Other than definitely check out this movie, Unfriended, on Netflix. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Our outro song is called Creepy Doll by Jonathan Colton. Thank you, fuck off, and have a swell evening. And this is Real Horror Show signing off. Bye. Bye.
And there's a creepy doll that